Anyone there?
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
Warnings.
Ninja Gaiden Black.
Is
it's a really hard game.
Is yada 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 yada.
You should have got the other one, Ninja Gaiden White.
I can see it now. You just started a flame war. You just started a flame war, and I'm half participating.
This warning can also be viewed using the options menu.
You played the song. You played the Song of Storms again, didn't you? I'm getting sick of this, Marciano. That's it. I'm taking that ocarina back.
Also Dead or Alive.
Gaiden Black.
Yep.
One of the hardest games you'll ever play in your life.
Why's it gotta be black?
See, did we not cover this?
Yeah.
We never covered this.
Yeah.
This game should really be called Ninja Gaiden Asian, because that's really what you have to be in order to make this game easy. Put it this way.
Man, we're terrible. We're definitely terrible.
Look at those costumes, by the way.
Is that all you have to choose from so far?
Yeah, it's all unlocked. That one on the left is classic NES Ryu. The one in the middle I like to call Spawn Ryu.
Dragon Blade. A legendary
sword. A legendary sword said to have been carved into the bones of a
I was about to say Master Sword, then they had to say Bones of Black Dragon.
Imagine having that sword.
Yo.
If this was gold, I would automatically assume this would be Meta Knight's sword.
It's got a gold handle.
It's not good enough.
No, Meta Knight's sword is a drill, remember? It's Gurren Lagann's drill.
Drill that pierced the heavens. Drill that pierced the heavens.
Pierce the heavens and flew through the sky. Onward, Odysseus. Whoops, wrong game.
I'm saying, LJ, you're kind of going a little too far off the left there.
I'm the one who wields it, transforming him into the devil incarnate.
Oh god.
Dante. AJ, you scared?
Keep in mind that this game came out back in 2004 originally, by the way. Y'all hear me?
I heard you. Both AJs were talking.
This game came out back in 04. I say it looks pretty impressive.
Doesn't look too bad.
For all 4 games.
And a lot of people, when this came out, called it one of the best action games ever made, except it has a share of problems that are starting to make it show its age. But I still love this game, and I agree with them.
Share of problems. Are we going to run into any of these problems?
The camera, and you remember how Dante worked when it came to facing enemies in Devil May Cry 1?
Yeah.
How he sort of attacked the nearest enemy and stuff? Well, that's here.
Understand.
Chapter 1, The Way of the Ninja.
It's more of a dialogue combo kind of game, but...
Oh, I just saw Ayane's, kunai.
Dang.
I didn't even get a chance, man. Come on.
I love this game.
I can imagine that being like the draw thing you do with Kirby. Game.
I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. The sword sucks at first, but by the end of the game, it's one of the best weapons.
Emphasis on sucks.
Yes. You can only do these very limited combos. Ayane and her tips that, as of right now, are useless to me. Also,
she's my favorite character. She's
my
like
things in this game.
She's like my favorite. She's like my favorite character. She's like my favorite character in Dead or Alive. Jesus, I just opened that box with my foot.
Also, anyone noticing that the audio seems slightly behind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Actually, it's in tune with mine.
Hopefully it'll seem better when we actually upload it. I'm not sure which is going to be first, this one or our other one. Because now we have to, re-record the other one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I have a question. What system is this game for?
Xbox.
originally Xbox, but later they put it on PS3 and PS Vita.
Huh.
But the only thing with me, the reason why I prefer the Xbox version, or at least the Xbox free release, because we used to have the original version, but then I got the re-release. The re-release is the hardest version, so I want to be able to say that I beat the hardest version. Also, this is in case you guys didn't notice, it's a walkthrough on hard difficulty. I'm not going to be 100%ing it, because that would take way too much time, and I'm by no means perfect at this game. But at the same time, I'm playing, like on my actual file, I was playing it through on Master Ninja mode. This is one game that, no matter if you're a professional,
Saw that.
if you play through it at the beginning, or really just period, even if you're a professional, this game can still kick your butt on any difficulty, except Ninja Dog, because that's not a real difficulty, it's more of hit them and they die.
So even on easy difficulty, it can still completely destroy you.
Ninja Dog is easy difficulty, but I don't really consider it difficulty, because it's you hit them, they die. But there's only one way you get that difficulty. That's right, you don't start with it. If you die 3 times, I'm probably going to show you guys, if you die 3 times, I think it's on the first 2 chapters, maybe it's just the first chapter, it'll ask you if you want to abandon the way of the ninja. And if you choose yes, it says, are you sure? And then you see, like, Ryu's dead body. Ayane steps up to him and she's like, it seems I have overestimated your abilities. Then she puts her pink, she takes her pink, I think it's like a bracelet or something, and she gives it.
No.
Sir? And she gives it to you, and it endows you with like these super special abilities that give you super strength and stuff like that. And then she hand feeds you rations and stuff like that, and basically trolls you, because you have to go through the entire game wearing a pink bandage or whatever that is that she gives you. And it shows. It shows.
Wow.
What dang.
So, in other words, humiliation.
All the way.
If you want to beat the game on the easiest difficulty.
All the way to the end. Dang.
Well, I'm not usually a fan of doing all these difficulty. I usually want to do it on normal, and sometimes if I'm feeling like a rebel, I'll do it on hard, or probably the hardest difficulty, especially when I'm first playing a game at first.
I wouldn't blame you for choosing normal on this game, because this game is really, 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 really tough. And it trolls you all the time in the harder difficulties. Put it this way, on the 3rd chapter, you're on an airship, right? You're flying through stormy skies.
Right.
The airship looks like a blimp. There's one part where you have to go knock out the electricity, so that means you have to go outside on the blimp. I think it's on like a normal difficulty or something like that. Right outside the room with the electricity. Oh, and by the way, this is kind of ways from a save file, if I remember correctly. Or a save statue, I mean. And, what was I saying?
Something about being on a blimp and you had to take out the electricity.
Yeah. Like, the bridge you have to enter that room on is very small. And on normal difficulty, well, on all the difficulties, there's a chest right outside the room. On normal, I think it gives you, like, a healing item or something like that. On the harder difficulties, if you open it, exploding bats come out and shoot you off the ship, killing you.
There's no way to avoid it, I'm assuming?
No way.
What the frick?
Like I said, this game is a giant troll face. And that's what makes it awesome.
Is that on the cover of the case?
No.
It may as well be. The way it's sounding like. Yeah, and that's the menu thing.
I think it's about time I explain the way this thing works, though. So you notice when I kill these enemies, like, these different sort of orbs come out of their bodies, right?
Yeah, it's called karma.
They're called essence. Well, karma's your score, and this game is all about time. Time is gonna be like your best way to get the highest score, which affects your rank at the end of each chapter, by the way. But I was saying those orbs, the yellow ones that come out of their bodies are actually the money for the game.
Which buys costumes and upgrades.
The orbs are called essence. The blue ones are obviously health, in case you haven't noticed by now. And then later on there's going to be red ones, which replenish your spiritual energy, which lets you do magic attacks. And then,
sorry to interrupt, but you got like elemental attacks, sort of?
oh yeah, all kinds of elemental attacks.
And
This game seems crazily hard, yo.
this game actually looks interesting to me.
It's interesting, but it looks hard as crap.
It's got enough stuff going on to where it's gonna keep you on your toes, and you really gotta pay attention.
Well, actually,
You see,
I mean,
you see how much I'm blocking?
I mean, excuse me, but if you play Heavenly Sword, then you should basically understand the concept of that.
Yeah, obviously when he's blocking, he's got the sword out in front of him, or the weapon out in front of him. This guy, he can block even while he's rolling, and the swords, like, our weapon's not even near where the enemy hits.
So
That's how awesome he is with it.
huh. So now you got the staff.
Yeah, but, also, in case you haven't seen me, before, like right there, what I just did to that brown guy, you can do this sort of charge attack, which absorbs the enemy's, essence. And if you get it more powerful enough, you can do a super powerful attack, called an ultimate technique.
And ultimate technique.
Yeah, it's, by the way, it's a good thing we're getting all this on video, because you guys might forget a lot of the stuff.
I'm actually paying some close attention to it. It's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
kind of interesting to me.
But see, one of the best things about this game is everyone says it's so hard, but that's actually a good thing even to those who hate the difficulty, because this is one of those games where it's fair most of the time. There's very few things about this game that are cheap. Very few things.
But it trolls.
Yeah, sometimes, like, when you're fighting, it does feel cheap, like how this camera is set up and stuff. Even though I can change it, it's, you know, why even bother sometimes when you're in a situation like that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it gives you this really good sense of when you finally beat something, you feel like a boss. And not just that, but you become that much better at the game, and it really shows. I mean, like, I know that's supposed to be with every game, but they pulled that off so well here, it stands out.
I like how the bats explode in blood right after they fall to the ground.
Yeah. Some of the guys, if you kill them at the right time, they will die standing up and they'll make the sound, but their body will still be there. Then they'll be like, oh, I'm supposed to die? And they fall and vanish into blood.
Now, as much as I've seen you throw those kunais or ninja stars, I'm assuming you don't have an ammo count for them at all.
There's no ammo for those, but you do get ones that blow up later that are limited. They're like, I don't know if y'all know what plasma grenades are from Halo.
I know what you're talking about. There's very little I've played of it. I've played Halo.
They stick to the enemy just like those, and they blow up.
So it's pretty much a Semtex.
Yeah, except you throw it at a really high speed. It also breaks their block. So if they've got a really good block going on and you can't break it, just throw an exploding shuriken at them, or incendiary shuriken as they called it, and it'll stick to them and break their block, more likely than not. But I gotta say though, I was playing this earlier and I was like, Ryu is so slow, because at the end of the game you can't even really see him when he attacks.
I'm pretty sure to me he's going at a pretty fast speed, but you're saying he's going awful slow, so which makes me assume he must be going at blazing fast speeds later on.
Put it this way, you get these weapons called the Vigorian flails, which are basically nunchucks with blades, and there's moves on there, like, say, the most famous one is called the Cremator, and it's not called the Cremator for no reason. All you see is 2 white circles, and you don't see his arms moving. but that's actually his arms flipping them over and over, cutting the enemy in 2 circles, on each side of him. And you hear the sound effects.
That sounds ruthless crap.
Yeah, bro. I would really hate to work this guy. I would really hate to have a bounty on my head. This guy would be my assassin.
Oh, not to mention, as the story shows, if he dies, he just comes back to life.
You can't kill me!
You can kill me, but I won't stay dead. By the way,
I can imagine it's like he gets killed and it's like he comes up and someone says 2 lives left.
Oh,
you know,
AJ. Excuse me.
Of the first Xbox One.
Excuse me. Oh, AJ, don't you remember that happened to Robert? He actually knocked me off, didn't have one life left. It's like, yes! It's like, F!
You remember how I said that, this is a re-release of the original Xbox version?
Yep.
But, by the way, that's a stupid move there. I should have used that Lives 1,000 Gods. It permanently increases your life.
So it's one of those sort of like...
And that thing that I just used completely heals you, so I should have used the Lives 1,000 Gods first.
Like I said, this game is really hard.
But a pretty fun game to me.
Yeah.
It's really hard, but just as hard as it is, it's also just as fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. Yeah.
Looks fun, but it looks like you gotta really put some focus into it in order not to screw up.
The third one has online player versus player, 8 players.
Now you've got 8 people trying to come and kick your butt. No, who's this?
And he's much faster in that game.
I see you have made
Man, this is ripped.
And he's got that 70s Conan here.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, so you've got nunchucks too, huh?
We'll bring it.
But, what was I saying? Oh yeah,
This is the one where you pull out the gun and just shoot him in the head.
Behold, though, seriously, one of the toughest first bosses in a game that I've ever played. In the original version, it was just him, but still. And they actually rebalanced the difficulty for this one too. I saw a video on it.
So, is it the easier version of it or the harder version of it?
Normal on this one is hard mode in the previous one. In the original version, yeah. So, you can imagine that when I beat very hard mode on the original, I was like, yeah, I could handle some stuff. And I played this game, and then I was like, why am I getting pwned? Because you have to...
You blocked all of it.
You blocked all of it.
I told
Like
you,
a boss.
he's one of the toughest first bosses I've ever fought. He grabs like a mug and he blocks like a mug.
Grab like a mug.
Beware of that coffee, dude. It's super strong.
Hey, bro, can come with that with your drinking.
Oh, wow.
Like, from what I've seen so far, you only look like you got, like, what, probably 2 or 3 successful combos off of them.
Yeah. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. This game was the first one to introduce, Master Ninja mode. The original version didn't have it.
Now, is Master Ninja mode, like, the hardest of all some modes?
We'll put it this way, very hard mode on the original is hard mode on here, which is what I'm doing here. Except, very hard mode in the original, the boss fights didn't have other enemies in them. It was still just the bosses. But the other enemies sometimes help you out because they drop blue essence occasionally like that. What was I saying?
So you would say that the harder version of it is a little bit easier than the normal?
Not really, because there's those bosses. But very hard mode in this game. Like, there's still plenty of people that have beaten it, I'm pretty sure, but just, it's a time sink. It's a major time sink. For an action game, anyways. In Master Ninja mode, we'll put it this way. Back when the game first came out, they had a global tournament for the Master Ninja Tournament, which was on the hardest difficulty. Basically, an endless gauntlet of enemies. You're being sent through the levels and stuff like that without a break. So many people didn't pass the first round because of how hard it was.
Wow.
But the thing is, like I said, there's very few cheap things about this game. Even though sometimes it feels really stiff. Especially for me, because in the sequels aren't nearly this stiff. I don't know if it looks stiff or not here, but you'll know what I mean if you play them.
You know about Ninja Gaiden 3? That was the newest one that was released for the PlayStation.
No. I'm not talking... Dude, the original Ninja Gaiden 3 doesn't exist. Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge is the real Ninja Gaiden 3.
I think that's the one I was talking about. Because I ran into a demo on PlayStation 3, and it actually runs a lot smoother, a lot faster than what I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at this right now, I'm kind of like... When I was playing on PlayStation 3, kind of... Well, it is later on in the year, but it completely trumps this one.
Pretty impressive for 04 though, huh?
It is impressive though, don't get me wrong. I give this full props.
But, oh yeah, Master Ninja mode, this game, you gotta be insane to beat it. And I've seen people beat it with the best ranks. And I think, well wait, there's a little bit more. Those of you who play Dead or Alive, those of you who play Dead or Alive might recognize this character.
Father is still in the sacred wilderness.
Yes.
Well, obviously Ryu, but the female ninja running up to someplace.
Oh, don't mind me, folks. I'm just busy doing a few things here, so I'm still in this call.
It was a lot to explain, by the way, so sorry you guys didn't get to talk as much, but later on you should be able to.
It's fine.
This is a major combo-based game too, though.
So it sort of is kind of like Devil May Cry.
Well, it has a lot with it has a lot in common with Devil May Cry, and a lot of things different from Devil May Cry.
So it's sort of similar, but not too similar. That's not
It's exactly the same type of game, and yet something completely different.
timeline.
Makes perfect sense, huh? That said, I like both of them just as equally, and it's Ayane.
Mastered you.
Called.
Yes.
That's my name. Don't worry out.
That's it. That's Ryu's village that was burning, by the way.
See? Ain't that a darn
Wait.
shame?
My fridge! There's no connected!
AJ, weren't you saying something about not wanting to be hunted by this guy?
Yeah, I heard him say something about that.
Yes,
Lesser Ninja is the second lowest rank. It's Ninja Dog, Lesser Ninja, Head Ninja, Greater Ninja, and Master Ninja.
Are we ever going to see a Master Ninja rating?
Hopefully. That's actually his rank too, of course.
It's his rank, but he's fighting like a Lesser Ninja. I'm suspicious.
I'm really rusty at this, but I think we're gonna cut it off here.
Yeah, just about the end.
Alright.
Just as soon as this video cuts out. Till next time, folks.
Alright.
Peace.
Bye.
Laters.